This segment is brought to you by JigMasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to JigMasters.com and use promo code PNF20 and save 20% off your next jig order today.
Welcome to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. This is the final cast segment with your hosts Brad Hicks and Josh Eldridge, where we cast our final opinions on all products good and bad. Welcome to the final cast. You're listening to the final cast on the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. I'm your host, Brad. With me is Jimmy. What's up?
What's up? Back again.
Yeah, buddy. You guys just got back from Dale Hollow. I didn't make it down there because I suck, but
Yeah, you missed a fun and terrible time altogether. All the hosts together and all the guests was fun. Shout out to Eastport Marina and Resort. That place is pretty awesome. It's crazy because you're driving through like probably the smallest town in Tennessee. It's like 100 yards long, it felt like.
yeah.
And then you're going through farmland and you go over a mountain and then you fly off the mountain down a hill and you run into the marina in the river.
Yeah,
And,
that sounds like Sulphur Creek.
Yeah, it was out there. Like we had no cell phone signal, no Wi-Fi at the cabin. It was great not being able to be bothered really.
Yeah.
But
I really hope you guys do an after hours episode and just talk about what happened
we were trying to do one while we were there. The first night, Dustin had been up for like 48 hours.
Yeah.
So he went to sleep. And then the next night we lost Dan for a second and he went passed out. So it was just hard to get everything going, but I'm sure we're going to do one about it because it was a good time. The fishing was absolutely terrible. For anybody that's listening that was following along on Tourney X, we all apologize for how boring that was. There was 15 anglers and 13 fish caught.
If I was there, I would have caught a limit.
Ooh,
I'm just
bold
joking.
words. Well, it was funny because we'd been there 2 days and Doo-Doo got there and we went fishing the same spot I'd been, like all of us had been fishing. Took him 5 minutes. He caught like 5 or 6 fish. Caught a 17. He was like, "Hey, figured it out." I was just like, "Man, go home. Go back to Texas." But no, shout out to Adam Reiser. He won the event with 3 fish. Had a good largemouth. And the guy that came with him, Mark, I cannot pronounce Mark's last name. Sorry, buddy. He caught a 20-inch smallie in 40 feet of water. Long lining crankbaits.
Yeah, that kind of bums me out. I'd like to meet Adam Reiser.
Oh, dude.
He seems like a cool dude.
Dude, oh, yeah, he's genuine. Me and him talk all the time on like Facebook. It's the first time we've got to really hang out. And anybody listening should go back and listen to me and Dan's Reel Down episode from Monday. We had Adam on, and he was just kind of talking about the weekend too and what they did. And him and his buddy actually fished the day before on the lake, camped out on the lake, hammock camped, and then fished the tournament. And then they come out and hung out with us, and we put them up in the house so they didn't freeze again. But no, he's a cool guy, man. You should get him on the show for something. He likes our podcast and everything, and he's real in depth. So you need to talk to him about what was it, swim jigs, and I think the accent spinnerbait's his thing.
Oh yeah.
You should do an accent show.
I should get Sam Jones on that one too.
Well, let me make a phone call or two. I'll get
Jacob Wheeler.
Yeah, Jacob Wheeler.
That'd be cool.
I've got in touch with Dustin Connell before. I'm sure I could get a hold of Jacob because they're buddies.
That'd be cool.
Heck yeah. So what are we talking about?
We're going to talk about media in general tonight. So that's going to include cameras, GoPros, any kind of filming. We'll talk a little bit about batteries and stuff too. So yeah. So you want to start
Brad,
with?
You don't do much of it.
Yeah, I don't run a GoPro or anything. I've never really ran one, but you have. Yeah, you want to go in your setup a little bit, like what you do and how you power it and stuff like that?
Yeah, so for now, which I can take my hat off and say that it ended last week, I was using a GoPro Hero Session 5 which is they're smaller than the most GoPros. It's just a little cube. It doesn't have the playback display on it. But it's the same quality. It shoots 4K 60 and I think maybe 4K 30. I know it shoots 4K. They're known for having a pretty crappy battery life. But it's a cheaper camera, and the reason I use it is, I can hook up I use an Anchor battery bank. It's 20,100 milliamps, and I've literally went out on like 5 8-hour days and not charged it, and just let the system record. I don't use the loop mode, which we can get into what that is in a little bit, but so when I go out, I record. I get on the water, press record, get off the water, press stop. So I'm running a huge, like 256 gig SD card, so that I'm not having to turn around and change cards and stuff like that. But depending on how I'm feeling, I either have a homemade like telescoping camera boom pole. It goes out 6 feet. You can get like the really cool shots for like off angle. Yeah. Spin it out away from the boat and stuff like that. I have the Yak Attack Panfish Pro, I think it is, the big one, the long one. It's like 36 inches.
Yeah.
I have that one that's on the Mighty Mount. That one's pretty cool. I like it because you can grab the foam piece and you can swivel the camera around.
Yeah, those are cool because they can double up as a selfie stick too.
I hadn't done that yet, but you definitely could.
Yeah.
When I'm going to do that kind of stuff, I take my big 6-foot extendable pole, just because it's like a stupid selfie that's 5 miles away, it feels like.
Yeah.
But and that one's got a pretty cool float on it that the guy put on it. But I have the smaller one, I guess is the Panfish Portrait. Is that the ones y'all used in the bracket tournament?
Yeah. Yak Attack hooked us up with those. What'd you call it? Panfish Pro?
I think it's the Panfish Portrait, I think.
Portrait. Yeah, it's something like that. I do have that mount. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I actually took that mount, and because it's so it's like taller than a cell phone holder, and I like doing a lot of recording on my phone. We can get into that also later, but I kind of customized it to accept my RAM mount phone holder, so that, anybody that watches videos, there's the infamous crotch shot.
Yeah, I try to avoid that.
Exactly. So I was just sitting on the boat staring at it one day and was like, man, if I swap that part out, I could put my RAM mount on it, and you could actually do selfie videos, and you won't see anything like below the chest. And it works pretty good. But yeah, as far as the GoPro, that's my setup though. It's real simple. It runs all day, pretty flawless. The only downfall doing it with the GoPro Session is, and this is why my GoPro Session is dead, to run power continuously, you have to leave the door open on it, which makes it not waterproof.
Oh, I gotcha.
And I set mine down to go under a tree last week, and I went under the tree, and when I went to get back in the boat, I bumped my rod, and my rod flipped the camera pole out of the boat, and it took a quick dip, and it finished recording that day and hasn't turned back on since. So now I'm in the market for new cameras.
You didn't throw it in a bag of rice?
Well, because it kept working, I didn't think about it.
I gotcha. Yeah.
I powered it down, and it won't show a charging light or anything anymore. So I had it for a year. I think I'm gonna upgrade. I want to try. I hear a lot of bad stuff about the GoPro 7s. They overheat. So I'm thinking about moving up to the GoPro Max. You know what that is?
No.
So the GoPro Max is a 360 camera.
Oh crap!
So
that's
it's
awesome.
the dual lens.
Yeah.
And the cool thing with it, a buddy of mine bought it. He mounts it in front of him, and you don't change any camera angles. You never touch it. You just record. You do all of the camera angle changes in the editing. So that makes it super, super simple, so that you're not, because when I record, like if you catch fish schooling, you reach back, zoom it around, or okay, that's enough video from back here, let's move it over here, let's swing it out here. You literally don't have to do that with that camera. You just go in I haven't got to do it myself. I've watched some videos on it because I'm debating on getting one. You just like click point of interest. So like the way of the best thing to describe it, I was watching a video of a guy skateboarding, using skateboarding to show how the 360 camera works.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going by on the skateboard. He clicks on the skateboard and clicks point of interest. The lens follows the skateboard. And this is all after he shot the video. So he does an ollie, he jumps, and he does a trick. And the camera focuses the movement of the skateboard, not the skater. But you can make it pan around. Like a buddy of mine, Greg's got some really cool footage of, he'll have it basically like when you replay the video, it's looking at him, you see him set the hook, and then it zooms around to the fish.
That's
You
sweet.
see the fish jump, and then he follows it all the way into him landing it, and then, you know, the grip and grin. Like, and it's all in the editing. Like, he never touched the camera.
That's sweet.
And they shoot 4K. I've been looking at one from a brand called, what is it? Insta 360. That's it. They're half the price of the GoPro Max. They're like $250, but they shoot at almost 6K resolution. It's insane.
Yeah, I bet that looks real crisp.
Yeah, like they're there's no grain in the movement. I'm trying to remember what that's called. I'm still kind of
refresh rate.
Yeah. So and it's the frame rate. The frame rate is through the roof. So there's
what is it, like 120 frames per second or something stupid?
No, I think it's like 500.
Really?
Like the numbers on their website like blew my mind that camera does everything at that speed, because it's a $250 camera. Now, what I found out later was that the audio on it is garbage.
Yeah.
And the audio on the GoPro Max is amazing. It sounds like the person's wearing a mic. Like the audio is just so crisp, which is, you know, that's some of the stuff you have to think about when you're doing like videoing on a kayak. That's like, you don't do it a lot, and it's because it can be such a hassle, probably. Like, that's the one thing that thinks about it, is it's like one more thing to set up, one more thing to worry about.
That's one of the reasons why I've never got a GoPro. I just want to go, you know.
Yeah, but there's so many times that something happens that I was like, crap, I wish I had my camera with me.
Yeah. The GoPro Hero5, I did have a GoPro at one point, but I never used it, and I ended up selling it. And it might have been the GoPro Hero5, and I wasn't really thrilled with the video quality.
Yeah. Well, with GoPro, there's, like, if you pay attention to it now, there's like the GoPro 8, the GoPro 8 white, the GoPro 8 black, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So back, I think it was the 4 is when it started. They started doing the black edition, and that's like the you know, the badass one.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine has, I think that's what he has. He either has 4s or 5 black edition, and they shoot 4K. I mean, and they're older cameras. Like, my personal opinion would probably be that the GoPro 6 Black's probably still one of the best ones, because it does shoot 4K and everything, but most of the time I'm just going to shoot in 1080, because I don't have a laptop that can handle 4K editing, so you're going to lose the quality anyway.
Yeah.
But it still has high frame rate, you know, the detachable battery or changeable batteries and stuff like that. And it doesn't have the overheating issues that, you know, anybody that's getting into this that does research, because, I mean, it's what we do. You go on GoPro or anywhere and read a review of their cameras right now. Everybody complains about the 7 Black just randomly cutting off. If you watch your favorite YouTubers on, you know, fishing right now, like Greg Blanchard, he'll have parts of his video where he's filming 1 second, and the next second of the video it's a different angle, and he's like, well, that GoPro just shut down.
Yeah, this
GoPro just shut down.
I've heard him do that before.
Yeah. There's a bunch of cool options and different ways to do it. Have you done any, do you do any phone recording or anything like that?
Yeah, so when we did the bracket tournament, I used my iPhone XR. I've went live. I've went live on a Paddle and Fin page before with that, using the X grip like I was on the Panfish Pro, and of course I'd have it tethered and stuff so it don't fall out. But yeah, that does a great job. I mean, you don't really need to get a GoPro to record some of these videos. If like I'm trying to think of a way for me to do it with my phone right now and record my fishing trips, which right now I'm at the point where I'm having it on the Panfish Pro still on the X grip, and then hardwiring my phone. Well, not hardwiring, just plugging it into a Dakota Lithium power box, which I have, and I can do that. It's just more gear I have to bring on the kayak for a river trip, which is why I don't do it.
So when I started doing it, it was all like, because I was trying to be like budget friendly.
Yeah.
So I spent the money on a good mount for the phone. Why would you do that? Because you don't want your phone going in the river. The X grip, and now John with the At Gadget has his version of the phone holder, and it holds better in my opinion because it has an extra set of arms to hold the bottom of the phone. I know he's working on getting a mount to mount it up where it's like up higher rather than just flat on that arm. So that'll be awesome. But when I started doing it, it was the RAM mount. I had an extended RAM arm. That whole setup cost me like $60.
Yeah.
And you put your phone on there. The RAM mount the one I have has its own little rubber tether that you wrap around the phone. Kind of like the Rogue Fishing phone tether for your PFD. And I would have it set up, and then I've done video, so I have an 11 Pro Max iPhone.
Yeah.
And it does killer selfie camera video because the selfie camera is so good. So sometimes I would film with the selfie camera face me, and that way it's kind of like a vlogging display so you can see what's in frame and everything. And then I got to where I would turn the phone around and film it the right way and let it use the better cameras. And it eats up your battery. So I was thinking, well, budget. This is before I had lithium, batteries on the boat. I was like, well, what would be a good option? And I used to, mess around with backpacking and, camping and stuff like that. And I knew about Anchor battery products. And the big thing with Anchor is they're cheap. They're high quality, but they're killer price. This is a 20,100 milliamp battery. It has two 4 amp outputs for USB-C. And then this thing was I think $50.
That's not bad.
It takes a while to charge. I just let it charge overnight, but those little 4 indicator lights on it. I mean, you can literally. I have ran a GoPro on this for, I think, the most I counted, I think, was 32 hours before and I've never killed it.
Jeez.
It's just got down to the last light and I recharged it.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to circle back around to that. You said how many milliamps?
20,100. So it's 20
that would
amps.
be. I was about to say around 20 amps.
20.1.
That's crazy. I can see why it lasts so long because probably the amp draw on the GoPro Hero is nothing.
Nothing. Honest to God, this little picture light right here, these little ring lights have probably 5 times the amp draw as that GoPro does.
Yeah, I believe it.
This thing will kill this battery bank in 2 nights of podcasting.
Anchor Products, huh?
Check out Anchor. They make their own charging cords, fast charge bases for your phones. They make these things down to 100 AH, 100 amp hour, little pocket size for emergency backup.
100 amp hour?
Yeah. I'm not 100 amp hour. 10 amp hour.
I was about to say I can run my XI3 on that.
Yeah, no, I got that wrong. It'd be 100 milliamps is what I'm getting.
I got you, yeah.
But they keep getting smaller, so this is actually a couple years old now, I think. I think it's 2 years old. The same one now is a little bit thinner and shorter, same size. They get bigger. I think they have up to a 30,000 milliamp now. But they make solar chargers, Like they make it like my cigarette lighter charger for my vehicle. It has two 4-amp USB outputs on it, and it plugs into a lighter. It was like $12. It'll charge my iPhone in like 20 minutes.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That thing could run a fish finder too if you really wanted like a cheaper option battery.
No,
that could run a fish
like,
finder, right?
Guys running Strikers, like Striker 4 Garmins, the smaller Rances that don't like. I would say if you don't have side imaging or any of that crazy stuff, like just chirp, maybe down imaging, GPS. You'd probably, I don't know if they would have the cord, but you could probably do some research and get like the actual spec name for the cord. Like this is USB-C to micro USB or whatever. You could find out what cord you needed, and I'm sure you can find somebody that has a USB conversion adapter.
Yeah.
You could plug it straight into this. I thought about, before I got my lithium batteries, I had thought about trying to do that just to see if it would do it. I just never did it. Because it would, I have a Raymarine Element 9, and I found out this weekend how much that thing draws down. I tried running, no, I hadn't charged my 100 amp hour Bioeno battery in over a month, and I ran Kentucky Lake all day in the wind. And then I put it on the Flint and tried to run my 9-inch graph and my motor, and the poor battery died. Brian had to tow me back.
No, that's like if somebody wanted to get crafty or something, you could like splice together something, make it work. I'm sure.
I mean, you think about, like you said, this is a 20 amp hour battery.
Yep.
So think of a 20 amp hour deer feeder battery like people are using or whatever, the 12 amp hour, or like this is that in its pocket size.
Yeah.
And it's higher.
And that probably weighs nothing too, right?
No, it might weigh a pound.
Yeah.
Because it's a tight packed lithium cell, but it's high output too. So it's like these things are, I want to say they're 4.1. It might even say it on there.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, they're insane. I love them. I've went completely Anchor with a lot of stuff. I'm trying to see if it says it.
I guess the other option people have for hardwiring GoPros is, like I mentioned before, the Dakota Lithium power box, or a power box in general. I know there's a couple out there. Amped Outdoors makes one. Bold North makes one.
Okay, here we go. Output. It's 5 voltage output at 4.8 amps. So that's like twice my cell phone charger.
Yeah. Yeah, so that in theory your phone should charge a lot faster using that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said, no, that Dakota Lithium box is a killer option just because it's an already done setup. You just
and you can use it for multiple uses also, because it has the terminal post, and then you got a cigarette lighter, you got 2 USB ports. It has a bunch of stuff
lights on it or something too.
Yeah, it has lights.
Yeah, like it's an all around killer option. I'm surprised not any of the other companies are doing anything like that.
I'm starting to see more of them. Like I mentioned, Dakota Lithium, Amped Outdoors has one, I think. Bold North.
Okay,
Outdoors,
maybe I just haven't seen them then.
Something like that, yeah. But yeah, it's a cool option. If that's the way I ever go, I'll probably do it that way since I already have it.
I would tell anybody that's looking at getting into that too. Like when you find something like that you want, just price match it to something that Anchor makes. Now they don't make a power box, obviously, because they're focused on not even in our market, at all. But dollar to dollar, you might be able to get twice the battery for 1/10 of the price. So, do you really need that power box?
Yeah, I like if I was in the market for doing something like that, I probably wouldn't get the box. Probably, go with that Anchor thing you're talking about.
Yeah, and I mean you could probably get multiple. I need to do some research with them. I need to see. I haven't got on their site in forever. I mean, every time I get on it, they have new stuff, bigger batteries. Like the solar thing they're doing, that's new. Like
we need to
Anchor solar packs.
That might be a good.
I don't even know if it's an American company, to be honest.
Well,
Might be a show in another language. We might just sit here and nod our heads.
I'm gonna write that down because that might be an interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of hit on cell phones a little bit. I know back over the winter last year, I made a bunch of videos that I posted to Paddle and Fin's YouTube, how-to videos, products, product highlights, stuff like that. I shot all that on my phone, and what I was using with that was the 4K 60 frames per second, and then I would just throw that on a tripod.
Yeah,
and I was good to go.
The cell phones have come a ridiculous way. Like,
Yeah.
What actually made me change over to an iPhone, because I'm not really a fan of their operating system. It's just not my style. I like the way Android does things, but I was watching some videos of a girl from Auburn that she thru hiked the Appalachian Trail, and she videoed the whole thing. She did every bit of it on her iPhone. I think it was an iPhone 9 Pro then.
Mm-hmm.
Pro
What
Max.
did you call the trail?
The Appalachian Trail.
That's what I call it, but there's people in the South that look at me like, "Yep."
Yeah. I'm one of the few Southerners that somewhat speaks in the right way. Because my wife talks about it, because when I start drinking, then it gets way worse. It starts getting more like Milford.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, no, Appalachian Trail. The AT.
No, that's impressive, man. Like you said, phones, they've come a long way. And
I probably still wouldn't have a GoPro if my mom hadn't bought it for me for Christmas. Like,
yeah,
I'd figured out my phone setup for recording video and was fine with it. And then she was like, "Hey, got you a GoPro." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." Like, I wasn't going to buy it.
I mean, like, from video quality to like sound quality, phones are right up there with GoPro.
Sure. I mean, we can go down the rabbit hole with phones a little bit too. Something you can do that a lot of people don't realize is you can get wireless mics for them.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get rid of that the wind factor. You can set the phone up, do a Bluetooth. What do they call it? A lapel mic.
Yeah.
And you could put a wind buffer thing on it. Like, you can get and spend 1/10 of the money you can on like a good camera system.
Yeah.
And you get more limited on camera angle. Definitely, because I'm sorry, I'm not going to swing a boom out over the water with my phone on it, because God knows what'll happen. Something
I was thinking the same thing. There's that aspect. I'm not swinging my phone out over the water.
I mean, you could
even if it's tethered.
Well, I'm a little less worried about it now because I'm still running. So a few months ago, y'all probably remember when I talked about, or I posted on my Instagram about dropping my phone in the river. Had to leave there, drive home, come back an hour later with my wife to help me look for it because it had got silted over.
Oh, yeah.
Found it an hour later. This is still that same phone.
Are you serious?
I haven't changed it. It went right back to working.
Wow.
Every day it got better. All the fog got out of the camera, none of the volume, nothing's wrong with it. So I'm not as worried. So if I had it tethered and it fell and got wet, then I'm pretty confident that this phone can take it.
Is it one of those water resistant?
It's
types?
Waterproof. The way they do it's waterproof to 30 meters for 30 minutes is something I think that Apple says. Okay. Well, it was only like a foot for over an hour. But it's like I picked it up, it lit up, touchscreen still worked. So
that's impressive.
And I mean, I don't have a life-proof case. It was in one of the lower series otter boxes, underwater.
Hey, you guys remember when Brian dropped his phone at Nickajack?
Oh, I wish I knew about this.
He did a whole episode on it when he went to the KBF FLW Cup down at Nickajack last year. Ended up dropping his phone during the tournament. He had to leave tournament early, go to Verizon, get a new phone, and then he fished the second day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There was a guy, Logan Martin, this year for the Bassmaster event that, because I want to say Scott Butcher was talking about, they come around the corner in the Bassmaster media boat. There's an old down kayak ran up on the bank, nobody in it. So they just kind of hang out. A few minutes later, guy comes running back down the road, gets back in the boat. He had dropped his phone, and the phone died. So he ran up on the bank, ran down to Dollar General, bought a flip phone with a camera, ran back
Wow.
down the street, got back in the boat, and finished the tournament. And I think that dude top 30'd.
Wow.
But yeah,
That's impressive, man.
I was like, that dude
Somebody
wanted
needs
it.
to get that guy on the show, man.
I
That's
wish I could
cool.
remember his name. I'm sure I can go pull up the footage because I remember what he looked like because he was fishing in the same area I was.
Yeah.
I just think I might have had already left before that happened. Or like left and moved spots. I can't remember. But yeah, it was a funny story. Like, dude went and bought like a $70 Go phone that was just enough capable to take pictures. Like, it wouldn't run the app. He came in early, went into where the meeting was, the weigh-in, and like manually like handed his photos to those guys. Like, here's the phone.
I probably would have just given up. Like, yeah, this is stupid.
That's me. I've heard stories. I think it was Josh Stewart went off the side of the boat after his phone. Like, it went in, he went in.
I think I heard that too.
It ain't that deep. Not for me. I ain't that good.
Josh Smith did that earlier this year, I think. Tried jumping in after it.
Brian, we're getting off topic. Brian actually told me a story this weekend at Del Hollow about ice fishing, and had his phone listening to music sitting beside him. Had his buddy hand him something and said, all you heard was bloop, and the music was gone. His phone went to the bottom of the lake.
That would suck.
Rang that little hole.
Oh, I just thought of something here. We were talking about phones. Over the show season, Jason Ricketts let me use his forget what it's called. It's a little tripod, huh?
The gimbal.
Gimbal, yeah. I forget what it was. DJI or something like that.
Yeah, DJI, the same company that makes the drones and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, he let me use his, and I took video of the whole show all weekends we were there, and that thing was awesome. You guys haven't seen the video? Go back. I think it was January or February on our YouTube page. You can see how this thing works and all the how like smooth it just moves while you're turning with the gimbal in your hand. It's pretty awesome.
For anybody that doesn't know what a gimbal is, which most people probably do, but basically it's just a form of a gyro. Mm-hmm. So it takes out all of anything that would take away from stabilization.
Yep.
So if you take off running with it, you won't see the camera shake.
Yeah.
You can lock it. You can do sweeping with it, so it's smooth. All sorts of cool. You can set it to where, you can flip the handle over it and the screen never, it stays deadlocked. It's the same thing that they were using on, like, before I ever saw one for like a phone or a GoPro stick, they were on the DJI Phantoms, which was the first, in my opinion, probably good drone that had a camera on it. And you could swoop in and, when you're flying, it's just getting that perfectly smooth transitions. And I actually had a buddy that made his own gyro out of one of those. He took the gyro off of his quadcopter. He bought one of these battery banks. He duct taped it to a selfie stick, and then because the selfie stick uses 1/4-20 standard camera thread, and so does the gyro. So he screwed it on that, and he made a gyro extendable selfie stick for like nothing. Now he had the copter, but
that's cool.
Worked good, man. That's back when I used to do the off-road RC trucks.
Yeah.
And
you used to do that?
Oh, we can't. I've spent more on that than I've spent on fishing still.
I have a buddy that's gotten into RC cars, and they race them. He's got his up to like 80 mile an hour.
Yeah, mine were rock crawlers, so they were really slow.
Yeah.
But I had 3 at one time that I had $2,500 in each.
Jeez, dude, that's crazy.
We used to do like competitions and stuff like that, and it was insane. But he set up a gyro to film that, and that's something I was wanting to do for fishing because, like, he could run right next along to the truck as it goes over terrain, and the camera transition's just smooth. And I was thinking about the other day having something like that on the boat when you're in the chop. You could get some killer smooth. I don't know. I just think.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Those gimbals, they work really well for like B-roll stuff.
Yeah, I definitely want one for that because I'm wanting to dabble around with doing B-roll.
It's fun, dude. I like it.
I've never
That's my
tried to
favorite
do it, and I
part.
don't really know what I'm doing, but so the guy that was at Del Hollow with Adam, Mark used to be one of the photographers for Hurley,
Uh-huh.
like surfing. He's traveled the world photoing surfers. And he was talking about B-roll, and he was like, "You don't understand." He was like, "If you put all your effort in your B-roll," he's like, "you get all these cool shots. You think about this is what you need to see." He was like, "Then you just record after that. Like it's like the B-roll is the film, and fishing is what happened."
Yeah.
He's like, "It just makes it. It just gave me a different way to look at it." And I was like, "Oh, well, that makes sense." So I could take like these boring cell phone videos, just put B-roll in them, add some transitions, and
Yep.
boom, film. Like
Yep.
so.
I just sent you the video of the Cincinnati Fishing Expo, so you should watch that later. It's pretty
Well,
cool. There's a bunch of B-roll in it. I was impressed with it. I'm not a expert or anything, but I was happy with it.
and you use the gimbal for that?
Yeah, the DJI the whole time. And
Dude, those
what's
things are
cool?
expensive though.
Yeah, they are.
I think it's like
But
$180.
yeah, but what's also cool about it has a joystick on it too. So if you're trying to like interview two separate people, you can scroll over to one person, scroll over to person or the other person without having to move it back and forth. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the joystick moves the camera back and forth, up or down. It's pretty cool.
Apparently, I did not explore the one I played with enough.
They also got a button on it too, to where it flips it from landscape to portrait by itself. It's pretty
Ooh,
awesome.
dadgummit, now I know what I want for Christmas. Hopefully, my wife actually listens to this episode. I doubt
Heck
it. I
yeah.
don't think she's listened to a single one of my episodes yet.
Yeah, my wife hasn't either. She don't care.
Yeah, fine.
It's like she's all into baking and podcasts and stuff like that. Baking podcasts. She talks about it. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I talk about fishing podcasts. She's like, oh,
Shut
cool.
up.
Whatever.
Yeah, my wife's into the murder podcasts,
Yep.
the
So is she.
serial killers and crap. Yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember what it's called. I probably should as much as we talk about it, but yeah. So there's tons of options for if people getting into filming. Like you don't have to go GoPro. Going back to GoPro style cameras, a buddy of mine has couldn't tell you what it is. I think he bought it off Amazon. It's like a GoPro knockoff.
Mm-hmm.
I think he paid $50 for it. It shoots 4K, and his videos are just as good as my my $200 GoPro videos.
Milford has a knockoff one that he likes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, you can.
yeah, you don't got to spend a ton of money just for the name brand.
And I would tell anybody that's just getting into it, if you don't know if you're going to stick with it, don't buy a GoPro to begin with anyway. I mean, you could because you can always resell GoPros,
Mm-hmm.
but, play with, cheap stuff. And there's other options too. Like Chad Hoover and those guys use the Tacticam.
Yeah, I want to start looking into one of those because those are cool.
I've
It
used
looks
one
like
on a
one of
boat.
those. What is that? It looks like one of those long, skinny lumen flashlights.
Yeah.
And then does it shoot like a wider area?
I know. See, the one I played with, because so to my knowledge, I could be wrong. Somebody will correct me if I am for sure. Tacticam started with bow cameras because the camera would act as the front. Oh Lord, stabilizer. I think that's the word. I haven't bow hunted in a while. I can't remember. But basically, the counterweight that you would put on a bow in the front that pokes out, you could replace it with this camera. It shot a decent wide angle. I don't think it was like 270 wide angle, but it would shoot a decent lens, and it would film your hunt. Now, I don't even think they've changed anything as far as what it actually is, but now they've got them on boom mounts, and you see guys like Chad and those guys using them. I definitely want to check it out because I don't remember my Tacticam on my bow costing much compared to, the GoPro Max, which is, I think, $580.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Tacticam fish eye, $200.
Yeah,
And
no,
it
that's good.
says developed specifically for the fishing market, Tacticam Fish Eye offers anglers the perfect compact camera package to film their experience. And then Right here it says ultra wide and 2x zoom lenses are coming soon.
Does it say what resolution it shoots in and what frame rate?
I'm sure it does. I would just have to read through this a little bit.
Because they're definitely cool setups.
Waterproofed up to 30 feet. It says.
I'm sure if I get it, I'll be one of the folks that test that. So
Yeah, that's
fish
a good.
out.
I'm gonna put them down as another episode too, because I think
I was just about to tell you, if you do, I want in on that because I need to know.
All right,
It's pretty cool. But yeah, no, there's tons of options coming out.
Where's it at?
I glanced at it. I didn't see a resolution.
Here it is. Low light sensor, record in full HD 1080p 60 frames per second.
Okay. And like I said, folks, you don't have to aim to get 4K everything because chances are you don't have the rest of the editing half of what you would need to do it. Maybe you do. I know some people go all in, get a, really nice MacBook and pay for Final Cut Pro and all that stuff. And if power to you, I'll send you my footage. You can edit my videos.
Well, if you have a MacBook, you don't need all that. What I use when we're editing these videos and all my videos, I use QuickTime and I use iMovie. That's all you really need.
I think the only thing you get when you do like Final Cuts is just more detailed options.
Yeah,
like you can do more with it.
Yeah, you get like these more suave like intros and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I edit all of my footage on the GoPro app if I'm shooting with the GoPro, or iMovie on my phone. And I've done, I mean, it doesn't give you as many options for transitions, but I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I don't post a lot on YouTube. I think the YouTube video I posted of my smallmouth trip was pretty good. I mean, that was a whopping 20 minutes of editing, basic transitions. Like, I don't know, still hadn't figured out doing the music to get the music cut in where you want it, how you want it. I'm trying to figure out how to like add in, like I wanted it to show the New Canoe banner, fade in and out in certain parts, stuff like that. Couldn't figure that out. But the phone editing is limited. I think if I uploaded it to the computer, I could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
But you can do basic. If you're just looking to get into doing a little YouTube channel or do some Instagram, like 60-second videos or something.
That's what I might do. Money. I might get into that. I probably won't go full-blown YouTube because I don't really care about that.
The only thing I post to YouTube, because I've shot some videos for New Canoe, or shot a video for New Canoe, and it was too big for my phone to upload.
Yeah.
And I could not figure out how to send it. And a guy told me, he was like, just upload it to YouTube and send him the link. I mean, that made it. So that's the only reason I even have a YouTube channel is it's a place to store the videos. Like, I don't promote it. I don't consistently post. Like, I think I've only got 3 videos on it. Yeah. It's just a place to, if I think it's something that I want to send to somebody, I just store it there.
See, that's probably what I would be doing is just posting on Paddle and Fin's website. Because, I mean, or not website, YouTube. Because we're more content for Paddle and Fin plus, New Canoe stuff.
Yeah. But it's on my short list of things for next year I want to do a little more of. I started it out pretty good this year, and then I just, with everything else, I went from fishing a crap load in the spring when COVID was real bad.
Yep.
I was fishing all the time, and then work picked up super heavy, and my fishing's just falling off. And I literally didn't put a camera on my boat while we were at Del Hollow. I just wanted to fish and hang out.
That's how I am most of the time too. But like I said, I think 60-second videos would be cool for Instagram.
Oh yeah, you got to think about this is something else too for people. If you're thinking about doing YouTube videos, there's 2 types of people when it comes to watching videos. You like sub 5 minutes, or you'll watch no matter how long.
Yeah.
I'm one of those that'll watch them no matter how long, but it's because I have a lot of steering wheel time too. So, because what I'll do is I'll put my phone up I don't have to see the video. It sounds stupid. I just like to listen to it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I'll just clip my phone in my phone holder and have YouTube going on like a Jacob Wheeler video or Greg Blanchard or
I
catching
do
up
that
on,
with Greg
like sometimes I
Blanchard.
do I usually watch the Joe Rogan podcasts versus listen to them.
Okay.
Just, I don't know why. I mean, every now and
There's
then, you stop at a red light, I'll glance at it, but like,
yeah.
it doesn't distract. I know it sounds terrible, but it's not distracting. Like, I'm not legitimately like not missing a second of a video going down the road. That's not how it is. It's just,
No,
man.
I agree. We have listeners that only listen to the podcast through YouTube, so
Yeah.
they relate that way.
Yeah, no, that's how it works for me.
And speaking of, this is like I said, it's a media segment here, so I'm gonna hit this a little bit. We talked about posting 60-second videos to Instagram and stuff. I see a lot of guys posting all their pictures from the weekend in one post. That doesn't really help you grow your brand if that's what you're trying to do. Save those pictures, backlog those pictures, and post every day at the same time and be consistent with it. That's what I've seen, and I've grown my page since last December. I've hit over 1,500 followers already
I think I'm
in less than a year.
I think I'm at 1,500 now.
But yeah,
See,
just
that's something.
that consistent schedule of being coming out with content every day, even if the picture is 6 months old, which I
1,400.
have.
Not there yet.
I probably have 50 pictures still from back in March that I haven't even touched yet. I'm saving those for over the winter.
Yeah, same thing. Like, I probably had 50 shots that I snapped out of the video I did from my good smallmouth trip I took this year that I posted, and I've probably got 25 or 30 more photos. And so something that Instagram does that a lot of people don't know is you can save them as drafts. You can literally make the post, click back, save as draft, and then you don't have to, in the middle of the day, it's not like, well, I don't have the time to post. You literally just click on it, and then it's done. It's posted. Like you said, be consistent. And then I read somewhere, I cannot remember who posted it, but I was looking at like growth, how you would grow your following and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys was saying in the beginning, you do not post every day. So when you have smaller viewers amount, so like if you post it on Monday, you may not see, you can watch like how it reaches. Mm-hmm. It may not reach its potential for 3 days. So you would leave it for 3 days before you would post a new post, because basically you would be resetting what people would see. And I started doing that. I was posting every third day, and my follower and view count was higher. And now I probably need to like step it up a little bit because it's slowed back down, which I've also like, I don't ever post anymore just because I forget.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, like you do a lot of our Instagram stuff, don't you, for Paddle and Fin?
Yeah, me and Armando does.
Yeah, one of y'all posted was like, we need to see more of you on here, and I was like, yeah, you're right, man. I don't post enough. Like,
I know if I could get like all you hosts to post pictures and then tag Paddle and Fin, it'd make it so much easier. But
yeah,
it is.
That's what I've started. Like, I didn't realize I wasn't doing that. So like probably for the last month now, I make sure I tag Paddle and Fin on it.
Yeah,
that's something, like you said, this is a media episode and we can talk about all things media. If you're wanting to do videos and pictures and stuff like that, just because you're wanting to grow on Instagram or YouTube and stuff like that, you got to make it sound stupid, but you have to make sure you get the tagging and the hashtagging right. Mm-hmm. That's another thing I read. A guy was talking about how a lot of people just hashtag the popular stuff. Like if it's a fishing picture and you're hashtagging the brands and stuff like that.
So
he said, make sure you throw in a generic hashtag that's trending. You can go on a website and type in, it's like what's trending is the website or something like that. And it'll be like, what's the genre? You would type outdoors and it'll give you a list of what outdoor hashtags are trending. Oh. So like as basic as using the hashtag outdoors. But he was like, make sure after you do all the ones you were doing for certain brands and stuff like that, put that at the bottom because that expands who sees it on Instagram that's not a follower of yours.
Yeah.
So There's little tricks like that you can learn to help expand your following.
Yeah, so what I do is I have my hashtags saved in my notes app on my phone, and I use the same ones every day. I because Instagram only allows you to have 30 tags on one post. I
I
don't know
did
if you
not
knew
know
that.
that.
Yeah, so I got 30 tags, and I use the same 30 tags every day, and it's always hashtag fish, fishing, angling, fisherman, fishing, kayak, bass fishing, KBF.
Yeah, like kayaking trends a lot.
Yeah.
Like just the hashtag kayaking. Like,
And if I'm catching a largemouth or smallmouth, I'll hashtag it largemouth, LMB, largemouth bass fishing.
yeah, you can hashtag other things people might see, mystery tackle box,
Yeah.
all
I
sorts of
always
stuff.
I always relate my hashtags to what's in the picture though.
I
Like,
do most of it. And then
yeah.
the only thing I've changed is after reading what that guy said is like find something that's related to you that's trending.
Hmm.
Like I actually played around with it during the COVID thing. I would use a COVID hashtag.
Hmm.
The 3 posts I did that way had way more views, way more likes. My
Oh,
followers would start popping up just because COVID was trending.
yeah. That's interesting.
I didn't keep doing stuff like that because it felt kind of like selling out, but it just, I saw he said that and I was like, I wonder. And it
Let's just
worked. And I
try
was
it. I
like,
might try
yeah,
that tomorrow just to see.
yeah. It was crazy. Like those 3 posts blew up. Like nothing crazy. I mean, I don't get much over 100 likes and stuff like that, but like that was one of the posts that did.
Yeah.
And you
I would like to.
definitely, landscape portraits are great, but the fish catches get the love. Like
Yep.
the picture of the 23 I caught, that's probably been my most productive picture of the year.
Yeah, and one of my pictures, I forget which one it is. It was me fishing in the rain on my bonafide.
That's just awesome.
Well, I thought it was a cool picture. Don't get me wrong, but that one right there,
Yeah, I knew what picture it was. That's what I thought it was.
312 likes. I'm like,
Jesus, you get way more likes than I do.
I'm like,
You're paying Instagram, aren't you?
no. I was like, out of all the pictures to like, you guys don't like the 19 3/4 inch smallmouth I caught. Like,
No, we
what's up
like
with
watching Brad suffer.
that? I guess, but it is what it is.
It's a fun little rabbit hole to go down. Like,
Yeah, I
you can
put that
take
in my
it super
notes.
serious or you can not,
Yeah, I'm not super serious about it. It's just I want to grow
You should be,
my.
because
Well,
you're freaking good at it.
I'm not like super serious about it. The main reason I'm doing it is because I want to grow my community of people. That
Yeah.
way, if I ever run into somebody or if I'm ever in a state, I'd be like, "Hey, you want to go fishing?" They're like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
No, I feel you. That's part of why I do all of this is for that stuff,
Yeah,
The podcast helps you connect to people,
I think
helps you meet
I
people.
think that's what you're good at.
What's that?
Connecting with people.
I ain't never met a stranger.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid to talk to nobody. Like,
Heck yeah.
swear to God, here's a little story. If anybody listening to us that knows pro anglers knows who Dustin Connell is, hashtag ding.
I don't know who he is.
Seriously. Wow.
I'll
send you some stuff,
I'm
man.
not a Bassmaster guy or anything. I don't care about
He's
Bassmaster.
the MLF Coosa River Slayer.
I don't
Dude,
watch
he's a
that stuff.
spot slayer. Well,
If
he's
it's not,
pretty well known. He runs around with Jacob Wheeler. He's on the Guggen Baits team or whatever, pro angler.
yeah,
He's a killer. Like I knew who he was because he's from my state, and he was like he has a really really cool video when he won his first Elite Series event. I think it was the Elite Series. Wish Dan was on right now. He would know. But like he was emotional coming into the ramp because he thought he missed KVD by. He's like, I just didn't do it. I just didn't get it. I just didn't have it. I didn't have it. And he ended up like blowing KVD out of the water.
huh?
But anyway, so I know that he's a Coosa River Slayer. So when Bassmaster did the event on Logan Martin, I just reached out to him. I was like, yeah, you'll won't answer, but I'll try.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, can you give me any info on this time of year? And he legitimately just started sending me spots to go.
Really, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So, like you said, I can connect with people. I can talk to and meet anybody. Like
Well, you're affiliated with Bass too now, so that makes it easier.
Yeah, I hopefully if next time that the Classic comes rolling through, if I'm still part of it, because we got an opportunity last year. I just didn't take it because I was fishing the tournament, but we could boat marshal the Classic. So that would have been
awesome.
sick.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick your angler, but I don't care.
Hey, I don't, like I said, I don't even know the guys, but that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
You would be like,
any
hey,
of
look,
those
there's
guys
that guy.
can teach you something.
Yeah.
You don't even have to talk to them. Sit back and watch them.
Yep.
Like, they would have been sick.
That would be cool. The last thing I was going to ask you about, you said you mentioned it earlier, but we got off topic. But drones. Do you have a drone?
I don't anymore. I had one briefly. First off, they are freaking cool.
Heck yeah, they are.
I would like to try one again because now that the technology's gotten more popular, it's gotten very user friendly for like beginners.
Mm-hmm.
Which I had a DJI Phantom 2 or 3, can't remember. And you can hook it up to a computer, take all the limits off of it, and it can be one of these really extremely fast flipping, spinning, or you can turn on all the limits and it like will counter stability for you. Like it'll hold itself in place. Like for instance, you could turn the thing on and hover. You could put the controller down, you could grab the thing and take off running with it, and the motors would kick on, and as soon as you let go, it'll fly right back to where it came from on its own.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. They'll fly high enough that you'll lose sight of it. Like I literally just held up one time just to see where it went and literally couldn't find it. And then I held down and it came back. Didn't know until talking with Jay, because Jay has a quadcopter that a drone. It's not a quadcopter. Jay has a drone that he was filming with this weekend. I didn't know that you can go in and see how high they went. You can like hook them up and it'll tell you that kind of information.
Like the elevation.
Like one of the guys was saying he got his up to like 8,000 feet, which is illegal.
Holy crap, dude! That's 2 miles, almost 2 miles in the air. Holy crap!
It's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard guys.
He said it was up so high you could see the curve of the Earth. So take that, flat earthers.
I love it. That's hilarious. No, I've heard stories about guys. Their things not making it back to the dock, and they'll just fall and drop right into the water. They don't float.
Oh no, they go to the bottom.
Yeah, that blows my mind. Why would they not make those float?
Honestly, I don't know. It could be one of those things that they put that risk in your hands instead. Because like we've had them, so they have a home feature. For anybody not familiar with a drone, when you turn one on, you set location and set as home. So wherever you are standing is home. So that if it loses radio signal, it'll fly itself back to where it came from. Some of them will, when they hit low battery, they will return home so that it doesn't just fly out of the sky in the woods somewhere. Downfall of that is if you forget to reset home. I almost did that. When I got mine, we set home behind a flea market in the field. Was where the guy was like showing me how to fly it. I got home and was using it and didn't reset it. And the low battery thing came on and it popped in my head and was like, oh crap. And I was able to swing it back down to me real quick. But it would have tried to fly back to that flea market. And like they have accuracy within 5 feet or something like that. GPS pinpointing. They're pretty insane. Like, and then the footage you can catch on them now, like I haven't done any of the first person flying. I was doing it all where I could see it, flying it, which is hard.
Yeah.
Because especially when you turn around and come back at yourself and everything's inverse.
Yeah.
Oh, it's tough.
I believe it.
Like Jay's little setup is, from what I understood, was fairly inexpensive. I wish I had like the brand and stuff like that, but it has like a phone clip. And it has an app, and you basically just clip the phone in, and you just look down at your phone while you fly. And I was watching him do it. He got some killer footage from Del Hollow. It worked out perfect. He was filming the cabin, and some deer walked down the field next to us. And he was able to fly over the lower down on top of them. They were just looking up at it. Pretty cool.
That is cool.
And a lot of these things come with some ridiculously good cameras now, and you can rotate the cameras and stuff like that. And
So
All sorts of
I
cool
used to follow this guy on Instagram. He was a framer. He owned his own business framing houses, and he would pull his drone out
That's
and
such a
go up.
Brad thing.
I know, dude. It was so cool. His name is Edster Jackass. If you want to check out his content on Instagram, he would use his drone, and he would just come up above the house, and you just see like the whole framing of the house, and it's cool. I like it. I'm a nerd.
Yeah. No, the drone stuff, it's something I'm wanting to get into because some of the shots you can get with them now. I have a buddy that had, you know what a cigarette boat is?
Cigarette boat?
Yeah. The real long, like twin outboard or twin inboard engine boats that run like 150 miles an hour. Like, you know if you saw it. They're like 52 foot long. They're really fancy, really pretty boats. Open cockpit.
Probably. Yeah.
But they've got like 2,000 horsepower. I have a buddy of mine that has one of those. And I don't know what he uses. And this dude's a government contractor, has way too much money, and can't talk about what he does. He had a bracelet that he clipped on. And he was running his boat across like Lake Erie or something like that, wherever they took it. And he sent the drone up, and the little bracelet is linked to it. So he just takes off in the boat, and the the drone follows the bracelet. So he has cool video of it, like 110 miles an hour, and it's, you know, taking shots around the boat and stuff like that. Like the technology in them is insane.
Yeah. So
you can do some cool stuff with them. You know, something else we didn't touch on that is cool in the outdoor industry's time lapse shots.
Oh yeah.
I really want to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I'm not real impressed with the time lapse on the phones.
I have literally never attempted a time lapse shot ever, so I would not know. I see so many, like that's something you see guys do intros with, like in the B-roll. It'll be like the night sky flying by as the sun rises, and then you roll into your B-roll. I want to do that.
If you go to Sean's page, he did you see his post a couple weeks back?
Mm-mm.
He went fishing, and he actually got in somebody's frame that was doing a time.
Oh no,
lapse.
yeah, I did see that. It was awesome.
That was cool. And it was dark.
Sean getting in the way.
Sean, yep. It was dark. Sean came up to the water, put his kayak in, started zigzagging, and then shot off to the left side of the screen.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It was cool to get to meet Sean. Sean's a cool guy. And that Outback of his is fast.
I believe it.
His little legs was kicking the mess out of that thing.
Heck yeah.
But he had a shout out to Sean. He drove down from PA for the meetup. And then he left Sunday morning at like 9 and didn't get back till Sunday night at like 10.
I saw that. That's crazy,
That's
man. Well, that was a good episode.
Heck yeah. Talked about all sorts of high expensive toys.
Heck yeah, that was fun. I liked it. So,
yeah.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up, I guess. Thanks for jumping on with me again.
Yeah, man. If anybody has anything they want us to talk about, they need to hit up Brad.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, if you guys want to hear a product or something, send me a message on Instagram. Don't message me on Facebook because I always forget those. Instagram, if you send me a message, I'll reply back.
It can be literally anything.
Yeah, anything,
boats,
man. Let's just do it.
Anything. People. Like
I'm kind of running out of ideas for a little bit, which means if I run out of ideas, we're probably going to switch over to smallmouth talk for a while.
Which is what you want anyway.
Probably.
No, I think we came up with some good ideas just tonight, and me and you talked before the show, and we can always ask other hosts too. But everybody should put in a little word. We'll have on whoever you want.
Heck yeah. Sounds good. We'll wrap it up, guys. Thanks for listening. Yeah, tune in next week, and we will talk to you later.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode on Paddle and Fin. Don't forget to go check out our website at paddle_n_fin.com. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel at Paddle and Fin. If you got a question, comment, want to hear from a future guest on a future episode, feel free to email us at paddle_n_fin@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Paddle and Fin on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to our show supporters, Angler. The Angler button and app just makes for a better time on the water and creates a virtual logbook for every fishing outing out on the water. Shout out to Rocktown Adventures, located in northern Illinois, for all your kayaking, camping, and hiking needs. TRC Covers, protect your investment. Ketch Products, shout out to Ketch Products. Go to ketchproducts.com and put the Paddle and Fin logo directly on your catch board. Shout out to JigMasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to JigMasters.com, use promo code PNF20 and save 20% on all your jig and tackle needs.